Hello, welcome back to Learn Economia. Today we are going to discuss the idea called post Keynesian economics. So let's have a look onto the same. Regarding the idea of post Keynesian economics, we could find that this is a very famous economic school of thought or school of economic thought that had its emergence in the 20th century. So it was in the 20th century this particular school of thought emerged. And what happened here was that the school emerged in response to the idea of Keynes, or you could find that, or in other words, you could find that this is an extension to the ideas which already put forward by John Maynard Keynes. So we could find that Keynes was a very novel economist who was actually dealing with certain kind of policies or dealing with certain kind of measures to deal with the problem called Great Depression, right? And till that time, the classical school of thought was ruling the economic world. But later on, these people, the classical school of thought, couldn't give a solution to the problem called the Great Depression of 1930s, and then Keynes came with his own ideas related to intervention by the government and so on. And this was the one which made the economy to come out of the problem. So this post-Keynesian economics would be taking an extension to the ideas of Keynes. It would encompass a wide range of perspectives that deals with the fundamental principles of Keynesian economics. And Keynesian economics was always giving emphasis to the idea called aggregate demand. Aggregate demand. So this person was always focusing on the idea called effective demand. To an extent, we could find that this economics or Keynesian economics was something which was giving heavy emphasis to the idea of demand. So he believed that whenever we could create some demand in the economy, that would be solving the entire problems of the economy. So he was bringing to the sphere of understanding the role of uncertainty. He was actually talking about the role of expectations. Then and he told that this is another important aspect that would be influencing investment in the economy. He was also talking about the role of institutions in shaping economic outcomes and so on. So coming to the Keynesian economics, Keynes was actually giving a lot many ideas. A new set of ideas was given by Keynes here, and post-Keynesian economics would be acting as an extension to these ideas of Keynes. Now, let me take you to the approaches of post-Keynesian economics. The first thing is demand-driven theory. So this too is a demand-driven theory as what we could find in the case of Keynesian economics. So it always believed that aggregate demand or AD, this plays a very important role in determining the economic activities. So this school of thought was actually focusing upon the variations that you can have in aggregate demand and the impact that it will be having on the world economies. It believed that fluctuations or changes that will be there for the aggregate demand or that would be there in the aggregate demand, this would lead to fluctuations in the entire economic activity. The output would be changing, the employment would be changing, and everything would be having a change as a result of fluctuations in aggregate demand. So that would definitely result in periods of economic instability because we are having fluctuations in the main important aspect of the economy, leading to fluctuations and instability in the whole economy. Next, this post-Keynesian economics believed in the idea of endogenous money. So, as per this, money supply is something that is endogenously determined by, again, demand. Demand for credit. So, demand for credit is something that plays a very important role in influencing the money market in the economy. So rather than exogenously controlling, rather than exogenous control by the central bank, money supply is having a kind of impact on the economy, and this impact is actually determined by demand for credit. Apart from this, this post-Keynesian economics believed and they give emphasis to the role of banks, other financial institutions in creating money through something called extension of credit. So this demand for credit was one of the important factor that would be influencing money supply in the economy as per the post-Keynesian economics, or as per the people or thinkers who have supported the post-Keynesian economics. Now, distribution theory. Post-Keynesian economics was always focusing on distribution of income as well as wealth. Why? Because they believe that these kinds of distribution will be having some great impact on economic outcomes. And for the very same reason, they were focusing on the idea of inequality. Why? Because if the distribution is not proper, it will lead to inequality. That will actually affect the power relations in the economy, and also this distribution will be affecting the power of bargaining. If you have more money, your bargaining power is more, right? So such kind of aspects were again promoted and supported by post-Keynesian economics. Now we can see that the idea of uncertainty and expectation. So as I was telling you in the very beginning of today's discussion, post-Keynesian economics always emphasize the role of this uncertainty. So they said that future is uncertain. So we cannot predict the future with 100% accuracy, right? So for the very same reason, what we could have here is that we form expectations for the future. And this expectation is what that would be shaping our economic behavior, that will be having some impact on future. So our today's expectations will make us to form our today's decision, which will be having some consequences for us in the future. So this post-Keynesian economics argued that economic agents would be operating in an environment or in the atmosphere of uncertainty, or very radical uncertainty. So the outcomes actually are very much unpredictable. Even if you are taking a decision today, it doesn't mean that you are able to predict your future with 100% accuracy, right? So such kind of uncertain aspects and the role of expectations were taken into consideration by the post-Keynesian economics. Now, historical and institutional analysis, the next point here. So this school of thought often incorporate historical as well as institutional analysis. So they believe that economic phenomena are very much shaped by some specific historical as well as institutional context in which such kind of phenomena occur. So this historical as well as institutional analysis again played a very important role as far as the approaches of post-Keynesian economics was concerned. Next is another important point, that is heterodox methodology. So what does it mean by this? So this is something that involves a pluralistic approach, a kind of multiple aspects to be taken into consideration here. So what does it mean altogether? It just means that this school of thought always had gone for drawing variety of methodologies, variety of theories from the heterodox schools, other heterodox schools. So this will be including something called institutional economics, something called Marxian economics, something called behavioral economics, and so on. So that is why we are having the role of multiplicity in this context of post-Keynesian economics. So it's all like something called interdisciplinary. several ideas were taken from other schools, other arenas, etc., and interlinking this with what we actually have in post-Keynesian economics. So altogether, we could find that this school of thought offers a distinct alternative to what is called neoclassical economics. So this school of thought was giving greater emphasis to the idea of expectations. It was giving emphasis to role of uncertainty and so on, right? For the very same reason, we could find that it has got a very strong connection with the real world complexities, power dynamics, historical contingencies, and so on. For the very same reason, it has got a very important consideration even now. So it still continues to be one of the vibrant and evolving field of study. And it still focuses on addressing issues of economic instability, inequality, inequity, and financial fragility. So such kind of movement away from equilibrium is actually analyzed by post-Keynesian economics even now. So that's it, or that's all for today. I hope you could understand the session. You can actually download the Learn Economy app, and this app will be actually providing you previous year question papers and answers, free study materials, live as well as recorded classes, and free MCQ-based weekly tests. So for getting all these, you can download Learn Economy app. I'll be providing the link of the same in the description box. Apart from that, you can join our free Telegram community for discussions and all. I'll provide the link of this as well in the description box. That's it for today. Thank you. Kindly like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Thank you.